Good to see you. Before we dive in, let me ask you something personal. Have you ever felt like life started getting quieter? Not just around you, but inside you? Like you're still here, still going through the motions, but something vital has slowly begun to dim? For many people over 60, it's not a dramatic event that changes everything. It's the slow fading of things that used to come easy. Energy, confidence, connection, purpose. Most seniors don't face one big mountain to climb. Instead, they face 5 small hills they didn't even realize they were climbing, until one day they look back and wonder where the time, the clarity, the joy went. These aren't the usual culprits like diet or exercise. They're invisible forces, quiet but powerful, that chip away at our quality of life, often without warning. But here's what most people don't realize. Fading is not inevitable. These forces can be reversed. With small, steady steps, you can take back the reins. You can add more than time. You can add brightness, meaning, and freedom to the years you already have. So if you've been feeling like your light's been flickering, stay with me. These next 23 minutes may just be what you need to turn the dimmer switch back up to feel alive, present, and in control of your life again. Because you haven't lost your spark. It's still there. Let's go find it. Part 1. The hidden cost of disconnection. There's a silence that grows louder with age. It's not the kind you hear. It's the kind you feel. It settles in slowly, between the hours of the day, between missed calls and empty chairs at the dinner table. And before long, that quiet isn't just in your home. It's in your body, your spirit, your will. Loneliness is often dismissed as a minor feeling. Something sad, sure, but manageable. What most people don't realize is that loneliness has fingerprints on your physical health. It reaches into places even medicine can't always see. It's now considered as harmful to your body as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. But it doesn't just harm your lungs or your heart. It affects your bones, your balance, your brain. Seniors who feel alone fall more often, heal more slowly, and lose memory faster. And the heartbreaking thing is, this decline doesn't come from a disease. It comes from being disconnected. Let me share the story of Ruth. She's 81 now, a retired nurse who once ran a hospital floor like a symphony. Her favorite part of the week used to be Thursdays, when she'd host her knitting circle. 4 women, tea in hand, laughter echoing off the walls. But one by one, the group thinned. One moved away, one grew sick, one passed on. Ruth told herself she was fine. She had puzzles, books, the television. But her smile faded. Her posture changed. She began missing meals. When her daughter visited, she found stacks of untouched mail and a quiet that didn't feel peaceful. It felt forgotten. What changed Ruth's health wasn't just time. It was the absence of people who made her feel needed, seen, and real. The truth is, our bodies crave connection just as much as they crave food or rest. It isn't about how many people are around. It's about who knows your name, who notices your mood, who expects you to show up. And as we get older, these relationships don't always happen on their own. They have to be planted and tended, like a small garden in dry soil. That's where rituals come in. Simple, dependable touchpoints that keep you connected to the world. A 10-minute phone call every Tuesday and Friday. A morning coffee chat with a neighbor. A weekly commitment, like helping with the library's book returns or volunteering at the church pantry. These aren't just tasks, they're lifelines. So I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time someone reached out because they simply missed you? And when was the last time you reached out to someone, not out of obligation, but out of care? This isn't about guilt. It's about grace. Grace for yourself, and an invitation to start again. You don't need a crowd. Just one person. One call. One reason to step out of silence and back into the rhythm of connection. Because when you're connected, you're not just seen, you're anchored. And from that place, every other part of you, your strength, your balance, your hope, can begin to grow again. Part 2. Purpose, the fuel of long life. Some people think aging means slowing down. That purpose fades when the title disappears from your name, when the children grow up, or when the calendar no longer demands anything from you at 6 a.m. But real purpose has nothing to do with a job description or a business card. It has everything to do with something quieter and far more powerful. Your ability to make a difference. In the years after retirement, many people experience a strange emptiness. Not because they're tired of life, but because the rhythm has changed. And without that sense of being needed, that reason to show up, it's easy to begin drifting. But purpose isn't gone. It's waiting for you in places you may not have looked in a while. Modern research is clear. People who feel useful, who feel relevant, live longer and better. Their minds stay sharper. Their hearts stay steadier. Their bodies stay more resilient. One major study showed that seniors with a defined sense of meaning had dramatically lower rates of heart disease, dementia, and depression. Why? Because the body follows where the spirit leads. Let me share a story with you. You may remember Margaret, a retired accountant in her 70s. After decades of spreadsheets and deadlines, she spent her first few months of retirement tending her garden. It was peaceful, yes, but something felt unfinished. One afternoon, she read a flyer about local families in need of fresh food. And something in her clicked. That small backyard garden became a movement. She rallied neighbors, found an unused plot of land, and helped launch a community garden that now nourishes over 30 families. And here's the incredible part. Her physical health improved. Not from more rest, but from more purpose. Her labs stabilized. Her joints ached less. Her heart beat steadier. And her smile returned. Now let me tell you about Thomas. He's 78, a Vietnam vet, and quiet by nature. But twice a week, he opens his garage to teenage boys in his neighborhood, boys with no fathers at home. He teaches them to build birdhouses, oil a lawnmower, or repair a broken bike chain. But what he's really fixing is confidence, direction, belief. He once told me, "These boys don't need a lecture. They just need to be seen." Thomas is giving what he has, and what he has is enough. So how do you rediscover your own reason to rise? You don't need to start big. You just need to start where your heart still beats with interest. Try this. Take a blank sheet of paper and divide it into 4 parts. Label them. What I love. What I know, who needs it, how I could share it. We call this the heart map. And inside that little grid might be the seed of your next great chapter. Because you are not finished. Your wisdom, your humor, your resilience, it's still needed in this world. Someone is waiting for what only you can give. So I ask you now, softly but clearly, what still lights you up when you talk about it? That's not nostalgia. That's your compass. That's the place where your soul still dances. And that, right there, is the fuel for a long, rich, and meaningful life. Part 3. The medication trap. There's a drawer, a cabinet, maybe even a little box in your kitchen or bathroom. And inside that drawer is a quiet story of how the years have unfolded. One pill for blood pressure, another for sleep, a third for digestion. It didn't happen all at once. But over time, the list got longer. And before you knew it, your day started with a ritual not of sunlight and coffee, but of colored capsules and plastic caps. It's so common, so accepted, that we hardly stop to question it. But now, doctors are warning about a new kind of health risk, one that sneaks up on seniors more than any virus or fall. It's called polypharmacy, and it means taking multiple medications at once, often prescribed by different specialists who don't know each other for symptoms that may have more to do with side effects than actual disease. Here's what they're learning. Sometimes it's not aging that's slowing you down. It's the accumulation of medications that weren't built to work together. Fatigue, brain fog, dizziness, numbness in your hands or feet. These symptoms are often chalked up to just getting older. But what if they're actually whispers from your body saying, "This is too much"? I want to share a story with you. George, a longtime viewer, wrote to us last spring. He's 76 and was taking 10 daily medications. He'd been slipping, forgetting names, losing energy, feeling more like a ghost in his own life. His family feared the worst, early dementia, but something didn't sit right with his daughter, a nurse. She suggested he try a medication review. So George gathered all of his pills, prescription, over-the-counter, even the ones he forgot he still had, and brought them to a local pharmacist. What they uncovered was astonishing. Some pills were interacting poorly. Others were being used to treat the side effects of the first. With his doctor's guidance, they carefully reduced his list from 10 to 4. And a few weeks later, George sent a follow-up. "I'm driving again. I'm cooking again. I feel awake." Then he wrote something I'll never forget. "I thought I was disappearing. Turns out I was just over-medicated." That's why I encourage everyone I care about, including you, to do a brown bag review at least once a year. It's simple. You take every single thing you're taking, every bottle, box, and blister pack, put it into a bag, and sit down with someone who understands how they all work together. Not just your primary doctor, a pharmacist, a geriatric specialist, someone who sees the full picture. During the review, ask 3 questions about each item. What is this treating exactly? What happens if I stop it? Is there another way to manage this? Without another pill? Because here's the truth most people don't hear. More pills doesn't always mean better health. Sometimes it just means more confusion, more side effects, and more of your life lost in a haze. So today, I invite you to pause, not with fear, but with clarity, and ask yourself, why am I still on this pill? Not with blame, just with curiosity. And maybe, just maybe, with that one question, you'll begin to feel like yourself again. Not smaller, not slower, but clearer, more present, and once again in control of your own story. Part 4. Gut Health. Your body's forgotten control center. As we grow older, we expect certain changes. Slower steps, maybe a little less stamina. But what many seniors quietly endure isn't just fatigue or stiffness. It's something harder to explain, a heaviness in the body, a fog in the mind, a sense of just not feeling right. And often, the answer isn't in a new diagnosis or a stronger pill. It's somewhere we rarely think to look. Your gut, that quiet part of you below your ribs, has more power than we've ever been told. For decades, we saw digestion as a side note, an afterthought to the real systems. But now, science is clear. Your gut is a command center. It speaks to your brain, trains your immune system, and helps regulate inflammation in every corner of your body. And when it's out of balance, the effects are far-reaching. It's not just about stomach trouble. Poor gut health fuels systemic aging, joint pain, brain fog, low energy, restless sleep, and even sadness that seems to arrive without cause. Let me share the story of Marlene. She's 70, a former librarian with a soft voice and sharp wit, or at least she used to be. Over the years, Marlene found herself slowing down. Her knees ached, her thoughts felt murky, and some days she didn't even feel like reading. A red flag, she said, because books had always been her joy. Doctors tested her for arthritis, for memory loss, for depression. Nothing explained it fully. Until one day, a young nutritionist asked her a simple question. "What have you been eating lately?" That question led to an exploration that uncovered years of gut imbalance, triggered by antibiotics, stress, and a diet full of processed health foods. Marlene began a gentle healing process. No crash diets, no extremes. Just broth, warm vegetables, simple probiotics, and soft fiber. And within weeks, she said something changed. My body got quieter, and my mind got brighter. That's the power of the gut-brain-immune triangle. When your gut is inflamed, your immune system panics and your brain pays the price. But when you nourish it, really support it, the entire system recalibrates. If this resonates with you, here's a simple, kind starting point, a 3-day gut reset. Start with warm broths that comfort and repair, steamed veggies like carrots, squash, and spinach, gentle probiotics like kefir or sauerkraut in small servings. Then begin to add in gut-loving foods, oats to coat and soothe, flaxseed, ground fresh for fiber, miso or lentils, which offer both nourishment and support to healthy bacteria. You don't need to cut everything out. Just begin adding in the things that help. Think of it as feeding the peace back into your body. We've also created a downloadable low-inflammation grocery list to guide you. It's right below this video, made with love and science, just for you. So now I want to ask you, when was the last time you felt light in your belly and clear in your head? Not just full, but balanced. Not just awake, but alive. Your gut isn't something to manage, it's something to listen to. And perhaps after all these years, it's time to hear what it's been trying to say. Healing can begin not with restriction, but with nourishment. And you deserve to feel good from the inside out. Part 5. Stress and sleep. The silent accelerators. There's a quiet rhythm inside each of us, a balance between movement and stillness, alertness and rest. But as we grow older, that rhythm can begin to slip. We find ourselves more easily rattled, more easily worn down, and more often awake at 2 a.m. wondering, why can't I sleep like I used to? The answer lies in a powerful connection we rarely hear enough about: the link between stress and sleep. And for those over 65, it becomes one of the most important and vulnerable parts of healthy aging. You see, sleep isn't just rest. It's when your body resets, repairs, and recharges. It's when your brain washes away toxins that cloud your memory. It's when your muscles rebuild, your immune system fortifies, and your emotions settle. But when stress enters the picture, especially later in life, this sacred repair time gets interrupted. What many don't realize is that poor sleep increases cortisol, your stress hormone. And that cortisol, in turn, makes sleep harder to reach. It becomes a loop, a downward spiral that drains your clarity, your calm, and your strength. Let me tell you about Elizabeth. She's 75, used to be a night owl, and always enjoyed a good book before bed. But after her husband passed, the nights felt heavier. She found herself waking often, staring at the ceiling with a mind that wouldn't quiet. Her doctor tried melatonin, but it didn't fix the root. What finally helped wasn't a pill, it was structure, a rhythm. She began ending each night with a 30-minute wind-down window. Soft music, warm tea, no screens. Her body began to trust the signal. Within weeks, she wasn't just sleeping better, she was smiling again in the mornings. Now meet Harold. He's 78, a proud grandpa who had slowly slipped into daily napping. Long naps after lunch, sometimes even mid-morning dozes. His nights, as you might guess, became restless. He thought it was just old age. But after talking with his daughter, he made a few changes. He added more light to his home in the early evenings, warm golden lamps that mimicked a sunset. He replaced his nap with a quiet walk outside. And he started using a weighted blanket, a gentle pressure that reminded his body it was safe to sleep. His transformation? Subtle, but steady. "I don't dread bedtime anymore," he told us. If you're feeling caught in this cycle, here's a simple roadmap to begin unwinding it. Start with the hourglass method, a way to gently divide your day into active, restful, and active again. Mornings might be for chores or light movement. Midday becomes your pause, maybe a sit-down lunch, a nap no longer than 30 minutes. Then late afternoon holds another gentle activity, a phone call, stretching, or light cleaning. Next, introduce a wind-down ritual, not just turning off the lights, but telling your body, "We're safe, it's time to let go." Play soft instrumental music. Rub magnesium lotion into your calves. Put on warm socks, which help regulate temperature and improve sleep signals. These aren't small acts, they're love letters to your nervous system. And yes, try a weighted blanket, just enough weight to offer a calming hug, not too heavy, not too hot. Studies show it can reduce nighttime awakenings and help deepen your sleep naturally. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's your biggest sleep challenge? Is it falling asleep, waking in the night, or feeling unrested in the morning? Share it in the comments below, because chances are someone else is going through the same thing. And together, we can build a circle of wisdom. You deserve rest that restores, not just your body, but your joy. And the good news is, your best sleep may not be behind you. It might be just one peaceful night away. Part 6. The Longevity Loop. How it all comes together. If you've been listening closely, you've probably noticed something. None of these 5 factors, connection, purpose, medication, gut health, or sleep, stand alone. They're not isolated solutions. They're part of a system, like gears in a clock or notes in a melody. When one improves, it lifts the others. That's what we call the longevity loop. And when all 5 begin to align, something remarkable happens. You shift from decline to resilience. We've seen this time and time again, but none more powerfully than in Robert. He was 86, living alone and on the edge of giving up his independence. His balance was off. His memory was fading. He took a dozen pills a day and barely left the house. But with the help of a supportive daughter and a caring doctor, he didn't overhaul everything overnight. He chose one small starting point: a weekly walking group at the senior center. That one connection lifted his spirit. He started sleeping better, so they adjusted his meds. That made space to heal his gut with better food. And with clearer energy and a sharper mind, he began tutoring neighborhood kids in math, a purpose he hadn't felt since retirement. Within months, his mobility improved, his confidence soared, and his doctors couldn't believe the change. What made the difference wasn't a miracle. It was momentum. You don't need to fix everything all at once. You just need to start. Improve one thing, even gently, and the others will follow. Your body wants to heal. Your spirit wants to rise. It's all connected. And please, if you've been thinking, "It's too late for me," let me say this with care and conviction. You're not too late. You're not too far gone. You are alive. You are capable. And your next chapter is still being written, with strength, with wisdom, and with hope. You've just taken a powerful step, not by doing something big, but by listening, by learning, by opening a door that maybe felt shut for a long time. So before you go, I'd love to know, which of these 5 will you begin with? Will you reach out to someone? Rethink your medications? Start healing your gut, or maybe just go to bed a little more gently tonight? Write your answer in the comments. Inspire someone else who's quietly walking this same path. Your choice, however small, might be the reason someone else doesn't give up. And if something in this video spoke to your heart, share it. Forward it to a friend, a sibling, someone who needs a reminder that aging doesn't have to mean fading. And while you're here, subscribe for more gentle, grounded guidance made just for you, for living fully, feeling deeply, and staying strong, well into your 90s and beyond.